Who used to call me on my cell phone? Say like when you need me now. Call me on my cell phone.
Hello, today we're going to be learning about the skeletal and the muscular system. But before we start, let's learn some facts. Each bone is an organ composed of many connective tissues receiving blood vessels, lymphatics, and other nerves. Bones support and protect soft internal organs. They store mineral salts, calcium, and produce blood cells. Joints are also organs. We have a total of 360 joints. They are parts such as the knee, the elbow, the shoulders, and the hip. There are muscles that are attached to your bones. These dense bands of connective tissue are called tendons. Tendons can withstand significant amounts of tension. Many diseases in the skeletal and muscular systems are caused by physical injuries, infections, and inherited disorders. Some common diagnoses are arthralgia, bradykinesia, and tenodynia. Arthralgia means joint pain, bradykinesia means condition of slow motion, and tenodynia means pain in the tendon. Disorders such as arthritis cause inflammation in the joints. Arthralgia and arthritis share a prefix, that is arthur. The prefix arthur means joint, and the suffix itis means inflammation. Just to let you know, there are lots of terms that use the prefix arthur and the suffix itis. People who work in computer stations or are just always on the computer or laptops may be in the risk of developing carpal tunnel syndrome, or known as CTS. CTS is the inflammation of the wrist, and it causes pressure against the median nerve, resulting in local pain and restricted movement. Epicondylitis is when the elbow is inflamed. The term epicondylitis is built up with the prefix epi, which means above or on top, the root word condyle, which means knuckle of the joint, and the suffix itis, and I'm sure you know what itis means by now. Now let's talk about some treatments, procedures, and devices for the skeletal and the muscular system. Arthrochalasia. Let's break this word down. We already know what arthro means, so we know that it's going to be something about the joint. Chalasia. Chalasia means to break apart. Put these together and you'll get to break apart the joints. Now we know that arthrochalasia means to break apart the joints. Chiropractic. Chiropractic is built up with the prefix chiro, combining vowel o and suffix practic. Chiro means hand, and practic means one who practices. Chiropractic is a field of therapy that is centered on manipulation of the bones and joints. Cosectomy. The prefix for cosectomy, means rib, and the prefix ectomy means to remove. Now that we understand the prefix and the suffix for cosectomy, we now know that cosectomy means to surgically remove a rib. A very common treatment for most internal injuries of the musculoskeletal system, such as sprains and strains, is often called by its popular acronym RICE. The meaning of RICE is rest, ice compress, compression of the injury site, and elevation of the injured limb. Alright, now our 2-second to last, a closed fracture reduction. This is a procedure used by orthopedic surgeons or orthopedists to align the broken bones to its normal position. If surgical intervention is needed to align and stabilize the broken area, the procedure is called open fracture reduction. During this procedure, pins, screws, rods, or plates may be inserted to stabilize and align the broken bones. Myoplasty. Myoplasty has a combining form of myo, which means muscle, and a suffix of plasty, which means repair. During a myoplasty, a muscle undergoes surgical repair. This has been a little review on Chapter 6. Thank you for your time.